Hi, my name is Richard Davies. I'm the Director of Digital Transformation at OutSystems for Asia Pacific, and I'm delighted to be speaking at the Manufacturing IT Summit. I'm going to be talking today about how OutSystems can help you build modern enterprise solutions that specifically address manufacturing IT challenges and help you achieve return on investment rapidly. Specifically, we'll look at some of the post-COVID challenges that we're seeing in manufacturing IT. I'll give you an overview of what OutSystems is and where it helps, and we'll finish up with some use cases and a demonstration. A paper that Deloitte and OutSystems co-authored is available on our website with the link below. And we'll also provide you a link at the end of this presentation. We're seeing that manufacturers are focusing their digital investments on building out the digital core and embracing Industry 4.0 with technologies like video analytics and machine learning. But what we're also seeing is a change in the business model. And then this is leading to a change in the way customers are being engaged all throughout the process from design through to service delivery. However, there are quite a few constraints which are limiting this transformation. 65% of the companies that we surveyed have at least 10 applications that they needed to build for the current year. But only 27% were actually seeing their backlog improve. And at the same time, only 15% found it easy or very easy to source the resources that they needed. What helps the most? To identify this, we compared the laggards with the leaders in manufacturing IT, and we saw the biggest difference between them was the top item, the adoption of low-code or multi-experience design platforms. The OutSystems platform is such a platform. It contains a combination of the following capabilities. First, a full stack development environment for building out user interface, logic, business process, and the data layer. It also has rich integration capabilities. These include bread and butter SOAP and REST integration for both incoming and outgoing services, database integration, but also a wide range of free and open source connectors that are available on the OutSystems Forge, written in the OutSystems visual language. And OutSystems isn't just a development environment. It manages the full life cycle of development. From development through to production, we provide separated environments. We also embrace modern DevOps practices and encapsulate them in the platform, providing full release management and application analytics, user feedback, but with a tailored governance model that meets your organization's needs. A combination of those capabilities mean that we can provide whatever kind of digital experience your organizations need, whether it's web or mobile, APIs, chat, voice, or some other form of digital communication. And we do that all by providing applications that scale well, are highly secure, and perform well with a flexible deployment model. Our platform as a service is hosted on AWS, but you can also deploy the OutSystems platform on your own infrastructure, whether that's AWS, Azure, GCP, on-premise, or something else. What are the sorts of use cases that we're seeing the OutSystems platform being used for across manufacturing? Well, first, there's a whole range of customer experience transformation use cases which are being used to drive revenue and improve customer satisfaction. Some of the examples that I've worked on recently are supplier onboarding and supplier management, as well as customer mobile apps and customer portals. OutSystems is highly suited to these types of applications because it lets you build not only pixel perfect designs, but it lets you reuse those designs across multiple applications. So once you have built a design system, you can leverage that. We're also seeing a wide range of workplace innovation applications being built. More people have been working from home during the pandemic. And so there are a wide range of COVID-related apps. But additionally, we're seeing other types of applications, such as improving the employee onboarding experience. Companies are finding it harder to hire and retain staff, and a good employee onboarding experience is key to that. We're also seeing a big demand for field services types of applications. The manufacturing sector is asset heavy, and having streamlined field applications that assist with maintenance of those assets is key to many industries. Process digitisation is another common area where we're seeing the use of the platform, especially for organisations that operate on thin margins that are focused on cost reduction and process efficiency in areas like procurement, marketing and product development. And finally, the sector has many legacy applications, and OutSystems is being used to rationalise those in a cost-effective manner. Not just rebuilding these to be fit for purpose, but modernising 𝐶OTS applications, wrapping them with a modern interface, and in some cases, even replacing 𝐶OTS applications with ones built in OutSystems from scratch. So let's look back again at what helps the most. In fact, all of these criteria are applicable to OutSystems: containers and microservices, new programming languages and frameworks, the ability to integrate with RPA, a BPM platform, and deployment to the cloud are all enabled by the OutSystems platform. Let's look at a few examples. Here in my home country, 𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼𝐸𝐼 biscuit, and they won our Innovation Award last year. Why did they win it? Well, they went to market as part of their separation from parent company for an enterprise BPM capability to replace some core business processes. Within 5 months, in a fixed price, fixed scope project, they delivered 3 core process systems, one of which was an entire replacement of their SAP Ariba procurement process. They were able to show a new way of working with the business, which was typically oriented towards using COTS products. And if you have a look in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you can see one of the examples of a reusable asset that was built with 𝐼𝐴𝐼𝐻 so that they can now create new applications or replace legacy applications and have a consistent look and feel across the entire business. They continue to leverage their core SAP investment, and the OutSystems platform has let them easily integrate into their financials. And all of this was delivered with only 8 developers. Another company that has bet big on OutSystems is Mazda. Mazda realized that by 2025, they simply would not be able to support their massive number of legacy systems, and that was a big risk for them. They needed to improve developer productivity and significantly reduce the migration cost. They had 500 systems to migrate. A lot of these were written in platforms such as Java, .NET, and COBOL. And so they decided to evaluate development platforms, code generators, and low-code tools. They chose OutSystems because partly of the productivity benefits they saw as part of the evaluation process, but also because of the breadth of functionality and the reduction in bugs that the platform gave them, because so many of the capabilities were built into the platform. I'm now going to show you a bit of a demonstration of what OutSystems looks like and how applications are built, so you can understand how easy it is to build the applications and that they can satisfy the look and feel of your organization. I'm going to log in as a sample user to an order management system. Before I actually talk about the application, let's have a look at the architecture. So here we have a couple of core systems that we commonly find in manufacturing. SAP, currently being used for financials, as it was with 𝐼𝐻, and a CRM, in this case, Salesforce, although we have connectors to other common CRMs such as Dynamics. The goal here is to build an order management system which handles a number of tasks, order creation and approval, as well as customer management from an order management perspective. Now, customer information is obviously stored in our CRM, but also stored in SAP. So we have created a data layer to synchronize customer information between those 2 core systems. They remain the source of truth, but data is also held in OutSystems, and this enables us to avoid customization of these COTS products, as well as providing a consistent interface across them, which the business currently doesn't have. This is a rich system, but only took 4 weeks for one developer to build, and it's made up of about 30 database tables and about 40 screens. Going back to the dashboard, you can see a roll-up of some of that information that I was talking about. If we switch across to orders, you can see here that I can look at the status of different orders, and I can push an order through my fulfillment process. If I submit this for approval, it doesn't meet my business rules. So I need to go and edit the order, fix the order date, fix the required on date, save it, and submit it for approval again. And the approval process begins. I can see here within the application actually a back-end view of what my process looks like. Let me switch across to the development tool. And in fact, you can see the exact same process here in the development environment. The way processes, and in fact, everything else is modeled out in OutSystems is visual. Here I'm looking at my process layer, but I have 3 other layers that I can build assets. I have my interface layer, and if I swap across to the dashboard screen, you can see a WYSIWYG, or what you see is what you get view of the same application I just showcased. I have a range of visual components down the left-hand side. I can build additional components myself, even leveraging underlying frameworks such as React.js. I can also pull them from the OutSystems Forge. I have a range of logic components, and these not only include business logic, but they include integration, for instance, to my SAP system using BAPIs. I have a wide range of components here that I can sort into different categories, and then I can make these reusable by putting them into modules and sharing across multiple organizational lines of business. I also have a data layer where I can store my product, order, and employee information. As I mentioned, in this application, this is being used to mirror information coming out of the core system, but it can also be used to build entire core systems itself. And just like with the process, the UI, and the business logic that I already showed you, this data layer can easily be made a reusable component so that other new applications that the organization wants to build are developed on top of it. Let me shift gears a little bit and show you briefly a field services application that was also built on the OutSystems platform. This was built in only 3 weeks by one developer. I'm mirroring the application on my iPad, and you can see a very rich interface. This application also, by the way, works offline. And even though it was built for telco customers, it's a reusable asset that could be easily adapted to use cases such as factory floor asset management. I can very quickly search for the different tasks and work orders that I need to perform. I can see my customer satisfaction. If I launch a particular work order, I can go to, first of all, the list of all of my work orders to see what work is due for today and where those locations are on a map. I have tight integration with mapping, and I can also see that there are some items missing from today's work. I'll now pick up those items. So using integration into the SAP inventory system, I identify what's missing and it records what's been transferred into my truck. I can now start the work order for the first customer, and this directly integrates with the navigation, the iOS maps, which is on my iPad, to quickly show me the quickest route to get to my first customer. I can also see other details of the customer, such as their phone number and their address, and any notes along with the job details that I need to perform. So a summary of a customer 360-degree view. I'm now going to take this offline because it's very common when working with field services to experience gaps in the mobile coverage network. Fortunately, because the data is stored locally on the device, while this means my map doesn't work, I can still interact with all of my work orders and update them. And when I get back into network coverage, I will be able to resync with my core system. When I perform a work order, I can, for instance, tick off various tasks. I can also do things, for example, if we have assets identified by barcode or by RFID, there are inbuilt components for scanning and registering these. In this case, I'm using a barcode scanner plugin, which is available as part of OutSystems to quickly build that functionality into my field services application. I'll just finish up now on my final presentation with some key points that I'd like to remind you of. First of all, if you scan the QR code that's on your screen, it will take you to the OutSystems website where you can see the links to the speed of change manufacturing survey that I pulled the information out of. You can also read about our manufacturing case studies, a couple of which I already covered. Please also visit our virtual booth or email us at innovation@outsystems.com. A reminder from the white paper of some of the areas that we think are going to give you the best bang for buck from manufacturing IT. First of all, start with your user experience. Look at your customer journeys, then build for change. Also, think about the new skills that you may need to add. Focus on continuous delivery and look at leveraging platforms like OutSystems that will avoid having to build and maintain complex DevOps tools. And get to your legacy code, whether it's directly through integration or via technologies such as RPA. I'd like to leave you now with a bit of a poll just to get an idea of the sorts of challenges your organisation is facing. I hope you've enjoyed the presentation. Please reach out to me if you have any further questions. Thank you very much.